First of all, check out how cute my mini twists are. They're fresh. Just did them yesterday. Y'all already know the salon I go to in the last video that I posted. Check it out. But yeah, she did it again. She did it again. Honestly, I was gonna wear like a sew-in wig for this trip, but that idea was just so stressful for me, thinking about that for so long, and I was like, I should just do this. Anyways, it is 2 a.m. right now, 2:30 a.m., which is not unusual for me, but I just had to get this story out right before my trip. I remember it clearly. Sorry, this is just what I'm wearing, just to let y'all know that I'm wearing a shirt, but okay, I'm gonna set that back down. Okay, how about this? I don't like that either. I like the regular one. But anyways, I have to tell y'all about the most recent out-of-body experience that I had, and it is quite exciting. It's a revelation. It's a revelation. Let me say that. For many different reasons. Get your popcorn. Get your popcorn. Let me just jump into it. So randomly, I woke up outside of my body. I was in this like dingy bathroom. It was like white, but like kind of rusty too. Like, but that didn't bother me. It's just like, oh, okay, I'm here, whatever. Oh, I woke up and immediately, like, I was in this dingy bathroom facing the stalls. I like how I never notice or look at mirrors. Maybe I had like just jumped through the mirror or something. I don't know. But I never noticed to look at mirrors. That's another thing that I want to put my intention towards, to try to use those as portals if I don't want to be at the place that I'm at. But this place was fire. So I wake up. I notice I'm conscious in this place. So I'm like, oh, okay. I look at my hands. I see the mole on my hand right here. I see my hands, like these hands. I'm like, okay, bet. This is me. I'm here. See my hands, I think I clapped them a little bit and then looked at it again. Saw the mole and the imperfections here too. This is me, so I walk out the bathroom. I'm in this is how I describe it. It's like the theme or the look was like rustic, Western dive bar, but it was like a bunch of music moguls in there. Music moguls, hip hop artists, and just like different people from across the universe or galaxies. But it was like a vibe. Like, this is where the cool people go. This is where the cool people meet up. And I also had the vibe, like there were different races there too. Like there were humans, but there were like aliens, other beings there too. I was like, okay. There was mostly like black people there too. A little bit of white and then like just aliens, you know, that's how the people looked. It was very eclectic. So I was just taking all that in. I was like, okay, like let me talk to some people. I guess I would ever do that in real life if I'm alone by myself. But I was just like, you know, moving through the crowds, going through. So I stopped at this one guy, tall guy, light skinned, and basically he was telling me that he's a Viking, but a Viking from before, like a non-human Viking, basically. And I'm like, well, what's that? And basically what he described was like, before the human Vikings got there, we were there. And you know how like Vikings had like their own like spirituality, like that like Nordic spirituality type thing, that is like similar stories to like other ancient cultures. But he said that they're different because their people knew about, you know, the spirit and the soul, and the wind and nature and the land communicated to them. They were in constant communication with the wind and the land. I'm like, okay, I mean, checks out. Okay. So I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, yeah, I'm a Viking. He's a Viking too. You know, there was just like another tall, they were like tall, but like kind of thinnish, like thin muscular. And he was like white, kind of like albino looking, or just like really pale white, ice blonde hair. I'm like, okay, there's some characters in here. There's some characters. So the second thing that happened is this other agenda I have in out-of-body experiences is to ask for my spirit guides, right? Like in the last video, I was like, I need to ask for my spirit guides because, yeah, in the community there's a comment that like, oh, if you ever need help traveling to places or like this and that, just ask for your spirit guides. They'll help you out. So I did that again. And I don't know if I talked about the last time I did that, but basically the guy like smirked at me. He was just like, then like shook his head, and then that was it. But whatever. So in this bar, I walk up to this guy. He was like the light-skinned guy, dreads. He was just chilling, hanging back, just like leaning on the bar. And I asked him, I don't know why I walked up to him. And I asked him, can you take me to my spirit guides? And he was just like, no. Like, he was just like, no. It was kind of like he wanted to help me, but he literally couldn't. He literally couldn't take me. And I was just like, oh, okay. In my head, I was like, dang. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, we're both like, yeah. So, you know, I turn around, I was just scoping the area a bit. So then I go upstairs. Yeah, here come the tears. That's how you know it's real. So then I go upstairs and I run into this guy. This like middle-aged, maybe a little bit older than middle-aged. Light skin again, but more like caramel and a little bit like caramel red skin. Like short black hair. The hair was kind of like straight-ish, wavy. And I remember now that we were talking like having a good time, like oh, and he was kind of telling me about like the posters on the wall in the room, and kind of a bit about like music history, or just like the history of like certain things, and then related to the posters on the wall, and that related to music too, which checks out because like this was like a dive bar of like very talented. There were some talented individuals. I was giving like music moguls, like hip-hop people specifically. So yeah, he was telling me all this stuff, all these cool facts, and then we were just like kicking it like for a while. And then he asks me, do you know who I am? Is it okay if I say this to YouTube? Okay. He asked me, do you know who I am? And I'm like, no. He said he's Michael Jackson. Guys, he said, I'm Michael Jackson. And then he like laughed. It's like a playful kind of like, haha, got you, you know, kind of laugh, you know. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, he kind of didn't look like it, but he kind of did. You know, it was like Michael Jackson, like before, like the brown skin Michael Jackson, but like kind of not really. But he was just like, yeah, I'm Michael Jackson. Like, this is how I look. He was telling me this is how I look. Like, this is how I want to present myself, basically. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, but then it was crazy because, like, he laughed and stuff. And I was like, like, he was, like, playing a joke on me. Or, like, not a joke. Like, it was real. But it's, like, yeah. Like, that type of, like, playful, like, oh, haha, yeah, it's me. Like, he was like, oh, yeah, like, you weren't expecting that word to you. Haha. Kind of like that. I was like, okay. Like, okay, wow. And that was, like, it from that part. I don't remember doing anything after that. So what happened was I actually woke up. Like, I woke up in my body and I got up and used the bathroom. And I thought about all that. I'm like, wow, that was pretty cool. Because this time, like this experience, I was so there. Even more so than like the last video I talked about, like the other times I went out of body. Like, I was so there. And it was crazy because the energy I felt in the bar was just different. I could tell I was not on this earth, or at least the earth that like we have access to. I don't know. I was just in a different place because the energy was different. Like in my dreams, I can tell, like, obviously, you know, I have dreams where it's this earth, or maybe like this earth, but like a different place. Like I'm in my dimensional space, like a creative place or whatever, that I think it's kind of still in this earth. But no, this place felt different. It's just like a meeting place of like all these cool people, and I was there. Go figure. Okay. But yeah, so I got up to pee, and I was just thinking about all of that, like the experience. Like, wow, it was so fun. It was so interesting, curious. And then the Michael Jackson thing, just like the energy, the people there, and the place was so exciting. So I was like, dang, like I wish I could go back. So like, I'm like, let me go back. So I get back in bed, and yeah, so I wanted to record all my OBEs and dream stuff in the other room, but I can't right now because it's nighttime and hubby's sleeping. But I get back in bed, the same position, and like in the same feeling of that place. and I go back. It's not often that I can just hop back into a dream. It's happened many times before, but it's not often, and especially that I hop back into a lucid, like out of body experience type experience. It's not often like, oh, actually, I did that once, but the 4 exits OBE, but I didn't get up out of bed. Like I was still just trying to lie still. I think maybe I turned or whatever, but yeah, so I got back in the same position, was feeling that same vibration of the place, and I went straight back. This time, it kind of coincided with like the outside, because this time it was like light outside. So it was light outside, it was morning outside. So then I went back and it was morning in the bar. And now in the bar, it was like just daybreak. So like the stragglers are there. There's just like a few people are on the bar. We're looking at like the books on the bookshelf. I noticed a couple of that by an author that I know and love. And it's raining outside, and then it starts flooding. It starts flooding to the point where there were like really high ceilings, like to the other side of the bar that I hadn't gone to yet. There were high windows. It was flooding to the point where the water line was covering like 70% of the window. It got to that point, and the people there were like scared, like, oh my God, like, you know, we're gonna die or whatever. We're not gonna make it. Dang. And I was kind of like, oh dang, that's pretty high. But I was like, well, as soon as they said that, I'm like, no, we can control this. We don't have to not make it. Like, we're gonna make this. You just have to clear that with your mind. You just have to manifest that. I said, and I was like, come on guys, let's go get some rafts and stuff and like floatable devices, you know, just in case, so we can float on top of that if we need to. But like, I'm just like, we're totally gonna make it. Like, we're looking around and people follow me, looking around, gathering things. There's like a little garage, like outdoor covered portion. But by then, when I actually see outdoors, like as soon as I exit the bar to the garage outdoor covered area, it's dry as fuck. It looked like it hadn't rained in 500 years. Like, it was a desert out there at that point. But a little bit muggy too. Like, it was just like sand out there. But, you know, we're still gathering things because people are like, yeah, who knows? You know, I might randomly come back just like it did before. So there's a lady with a baby there. And then I'm like, oh, if we're going to make the trip, because we were going to make the trip down to like this location that was safe. There was a lady with a baby there. And I was like, this baby's gonna need food. Like, we can get the supplies and stuff, but the baby's gonna need food. So I went back upstairs to that bar where I met Michael Jackson. It looks a bit different now. Like, a little bit bigger, and just random stuff scattered about, tables with like, honestly, junk and supplies. And it just looked like a garage type, attic type place. So I see some canned food that a baby can eat. I was like, okay, pack that. So I get a bag, I pack all of that. Pack some other food for people, water. Cool. All of a sudden, I have the thought that I gotta go pee. I don't know how many hours went by, but apparently I have to go pee again. I don't know. I don't normally wake up twice in the night to do that. But it was just a thought. Like, I didn't feel it in my body. It was just like a distant thought of, I have to go to the bathroom. And it was like a thought coming from my body. It's like a thought that traveled its way to where my consciousness was. That, hey, the body's calling, we have to go pee. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to go. Like, I just got back here. I'm in the mix. Like, I'm helping these people. We're trying to get out of here. I can't go right now. I don't want to go right now. So what I did randomly, I don't know. Please tell me if you're watching this and you have experiences like this, if you do the same thing, or if this is just something that I randomly did to kind of represent holding myself here in this space. But I kind of like felt or saw like an invisible white / blue, like kind of ghostly like hand in the back of me. You know, like in the back of me, like right here, there's like a hand. It was like a big hand too. It was like facing up like that. And I didn't want to go. So I kind of like held that hand. Like, that hand, I think, was going to like push me or like to take me back to my body. And I was like, I held the hand and like held it down, like behind my back like this. I was like, no, I don't want to go, because I kind of felt it pulling me kind of like firmly, but I just held it down. I was like, no, I don't want to go yet. And as soon as like I held it down, it's like I was firmly planted. I was firmly planted there. I wasn't going anywhere. So I held that hand down. No, I'm not going. I didn't go at all. Like the urge or like the calling to go back completely vanished as long as I was holding my hand down and kind of like anchoring myself to this place. And I was like, wow, haha. Yeah, of course, like I can command that for myself. I'm not going. But then I was like, wait, I don't want to like die or something. Like if I reject the call out for my body to go back, I mean, in reality, not in reality, but like for real, I didn't feel like I was gonna die, but it was kind of like a fear thing. Like, wait, if I stop this thing that's trying to let me go back, and if my body says it has to pee, I should probably listen to that. So I was kind of fearful of like stopping something like that. I didn't really think I was gonna die, but that's what I thought in the moment. Like, oh, this might not be good. So I just let go of the hand. I'm like, okay, take me back. I'm like, okay. I kind of just like, take me back. Immediately, I just like popped back into my body and and open my eyes. I'm like, well, yeah, like we're here. What do you want? What you want, buddy? But yeah, I did have to pee, but not like urgently. Because it's like I already went earlier. Like, why are you bothering me with this? But yeah, that's it. But this is the interesting thing that I realized. When I got up, I realized that I was wearing the same exact shirt that I saw myself wearing 2 or 3 weeks ago when I had that OBE, the 4 exits one night video I posted. And I was saying that like I wanted to get out of my body and look back and see my body to know 100% it's a real OBE, right? But remember, I was like, I got out and looked back at my body, but I realized I was wearing a different shirt. So I'm like, dang, maybe this isn't an OBE, because that's not the shirt that I was wearing when I went to sleep. Lo and behold, for this out-of-body experience, I was wearing that exact same shirt that I saw 3 weeks ago in my exit. And I was in the exact same position that I saw 3 weeks ago in my exit, that I thought it was the wrong position then too. It was like I was in the wrong position and wrong shirt. I was wearing that shirt and I was in that position. And I realized that at that point. I was like, what? Wow, it literally came full circle to me just now that I was probably, and I need to stop using like non-concrete words, and like believing in myself and my abilities and the experiences that I'm having 100%. But I'll say it like this. I was probably looking at my body in the future. Yeah. Because and that specific shirt is unique-ish. It's not just like a regular random shirt. It's like a shirt with a lion on it. But yeah, I don't know. My sister gave me that shirt. And it's just like a little funny moment about that shirt. But it's crazy that it was that shirt, and it's crazy that that's the shirt that I saw 3 weeks ago in the outer body when I wanted to turn around and see myself. I was seeing myself in the future, having an out-of-body experience. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, that was the whole thing that happened. Takeaways. Well, number one, ever since I have been using, I don't have it, that Masterpiece supplement, and I have not been consistent with it every single day. But I noticed myself a lot, like my dreams are clearer, more adventurous, vivid, and I am exiting or having like lucid experiences a lot more often. Because usually it'll be like one time a month, or maybe a couple times a month recently, after I've been putting my intention and attention into it and fasting and stuff like that. And yeah, so I've been trying to develop that anyways, but the activity has been a lot more now. There's been a lot more profound and curious experiences, like what happened in the bar, the energy of that place, meeting Michael Jackson, and just like being there like really solidly, like even more lucid than the other experiences that I've had. And also like being able to wake up and go back into the experience, that's great. But then this ability to see future events. So this is not new to me. This happens, specifically the ability to see future events has happened to me in dreams before, or like in visions I would get while I'm sleeping. Few and far between over my life, but it happened multiple times. And recently I decided to lean into that because I feel and I gather that I have an inclination to see and to do those types of things. And my mom had a little bit of that too. I want to lean into that and to see if I can actually rely on that ability more often and more on command. But it was just like, it's not like a super intention that I have right now, like the intention to maybe like grow my hair out or like have out of body experiences and the agendas that I have while doing so. It's just like a thought that I had, like I should probably do this. It's just a thought that I had. It's just something that came up. Well, I'm just, thinking about myself and like abilities and stuff and what I can do. So yeah, that thought just came in passing like maybe a month ago or a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, I should be like a clairvoyant or something. I was just like, I should be one of those people and I should, blah, blah. And then I just forgot about it, Because I'm like, yeah, this happened like here and there. Like, I wonder if I can open that up. And what happened now in between these two out-of-body experiences showed me that, yes, it is possible. I'm not even targeting anything or doing anything like that. And it happened. So it's possible for me to kind of like work on that and open that up. So I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this experience. A lot of things to just like dissect and think about, and hopefully I can talk to some people in the community about it and get some guidance and see, like, going over this in my own mind too. And like, so I had to tell y'all about it, of course, because it was a really cool experience and a cool moment. I am going to sleep. That's that for this one. I will see you guys in the next one. Tell me what you think. Please tell me what you think about this, or if y'all have any comments or questions or suggestions on developing this clairvoyant seeing ability, or just like comments on anything that happened in these experiences in the bar. Have y'all been to that bar too? I don't know. Where have y'all been? Let me know. Until next time. Bye.